But look what the Tories would do. They say they want to cut public investment just when the private sector is in difficulty, and what is helping take the economy forward is public sector investment. They say they would cut back on that. And look who's in the firing line for Tory cuts. Who's in the firing line? Small businesses who would be harmed by cuts in public sector investment, like building companies, with their proposals for making people who've probably made their plans about retirement, people who are coming up to retirement, suddenly they would say you've got to work 3 years longer, which would make it very difficult for people who've already made their plans. They're in the firing line, people who are coming up to retirement. Look who's also in the Tory firing line is civil servants. Now, I think that civil servants are a very important part of the work of the public sector, and the Tories suggest that this is wasteful and they would want to see this cut back and devastated, and that would cause people to be thrown on the dole. They would look who's also in the Tory firing line. Families on middle income would lose tax credits and the Child Trust Fund. But look who is not in the Tory firing line. The people who are not in the Tory firing line are the bankers who caused the problem in the first place, and the multi-millionaires who the Tories say should get even more tax cuts. So we have to make no mistake that the Tories would be a change, but they would be a change of turning the clock back, a change that we cannot afford in this country. So I think the Tories have a new version of our slogan. Do you remember our slogan, for the many, not for the few? I think the new Tory version of that slogan is austerity for the many, prosperity for the few. So we are going to fight back. Now, as Virendra said, the polls have not always been good for us. The opinion polls have shown the Tories ahead, but as Virendra said, it is not in the bag for them. It is all to play for. People are suspicious of David Cameron, rightly so. They don't know what he stands for, and rightly so. But we know that the Tory party hasn't changed. So we will fight back, and we'll fight back to carry the message that it is the Labour Party that supports young people to get into work, that protects hard-working people, not protecting the privileged few, that stands up for our vital public services like health and like schools. And this is the message that we must take door to door over the next months in the run-up to the general election. Here in Ealing and all over the country, we must fight back against the Tories. And we must fight to explain to people that they mustn't stay at home. If they stay at home, then that can help the Conservatives. If they vote Green or Lib Dem, that can help the services, the Tories. There is a clear choice at the next election, and people need to come out to vote and vote Labour. Here in Ealing, you know what it is to fight back, and you have shown the way, you've shown how to do it. You fought back against that Conservative multi-millionaire who thought he could come in and buy the by-election here in Southall, and you proved him wrong and showed him wrong. You fought back in the Greater London Assembly elections. You fought back in the European elections, and London region had the best results in the whole country, and that was part of the votes that were delivered here in Ealing and Southall. We were very sorry indeed to lose Nina Gill from the West Midlands in that election, but Nina, I know you are very important to the politics of this country, and we expect to see you back representing people in this country, because you are a great asset to us and a great star in our firmament. So I know you will be back soon. We're fighting back for next year's council elections too. Next year will be the general election, but the council elections will be very, very important indeed, both in Hillingdon and also in Ealing. and we hope that on the night of the council elections we will see Ealing retaken for the people of the community on behalf of the Labour Party. So this is the most important general election that there's going to be for more than a decade, and I know that we will all fight together. We'll fight back. We will not be told by the Tories that it is their right to be in number 10 Downing Street. We will not be told by the newspapers that it's the Tories' turn to take over. We will fight back together, and above all, we'll fight to win. Thank you.